Hi guys, I'm Shmee. Hello and welcome back to the channel where you join me today here at the Ger Collection, visiting my friend GerCollector, where a few things have changed in the garage since the last time we caught up about a year ago. There is a lounge area down there we'll go and check out. There are a few new cars that have arrived in this extraordinary lineup, including one in particular just here to take a look at today, the AMG GT Black Series Project One Edition. As the AMG ONE is going to be joining the Ger Collection in future, this is the limited edition variant of the GT Black Series for AMG ONE customers exclusively, and this is with a bit of a difference as well. The car has been over to my friend Lucas at Opus, and it is not so standard. In addition to the livery, which is actually in satin black with all of the different accents that have been added, the car happens to have sports cats, a modified exhaust, and a tune to be producing 860 horsepower. We're going to have a look at the car, we'll have a cold start, we'll get it on outside as well, go for a drive with GerCollector to experience what this is all about. Before we go fully through the GT Black Series then, the SLR Sterling Moss, always one of my favourites, the 722, all of the amazing cars that are here in this fantastic collection. You might remember it was driving that C63 Black Series, which pushed me over the edge to add a C63 Black Series to my collection. When I was last out here, the F40 was off having some work done to it. The P1 was away at the time as well. It's great to see those back. We did the double Senna drive when mine was resident here for a short term, alongside the Ger Collection Senna. We've got the ridiculously loud SVJ, the Hurricane Super Trofeo. There's also a lift here now, which is lovely as well, very helpful. A few new teddies have joined the collection, the bikes that are around, and this fantastic lounge area. Very much the kind of thing I'd like to do at the Museum, a seating area, SLR 722 wheels making the table, lovely chairs, computer workstation corner, lots of nice memorabilia on display as well. All very cool things. We've also got the RS e-tron GT. This is the launch first edition, only 100 of those in total. We went out in the GT2 RS before as well, which has a host of modifications. The GT3 RS has a new livery too. But as I said, we've come to see this. Let's have a look around then, the GT Black Series. We'll get it started in a moment, have a cold start to pull it on out so we can have a proper look at this extraordinary thing. Let's do this then. Let's have the cold start. That sounds significantly better than mine. Just a rawer, more angry sound, and look at the back of this thing. Wing is in attack position, active aero is up. We'll have a full look around all the details now. Let's take a look then at this absolute beast, the latest arrival here at the Ger Collection, and it is in fact the first time I've ever seen one of these, the GT Black Series with the P1 edition livery. Now for the 275 customers of the Mercedes AMG ONE, they made it possible to have this exclusive livery, which represents the same you find on the Formula One race car of the Mercedes AMG Petronas team, including these hand-painted stars that you see over the back half of the car. Now this is a little bit different because you can't actually have it in satin black from factory. In fact, there were two options for the P1 edition livery. One is to have the car entirely in Obsidian Black, which is the metallic black with the hand-painted silver stars. The other is to effectively have a fade from high-tech silver, which was the launch colour at the front, towards Obsidian Black at the rear with the hand-painted stars over the top. And these take 4 to 5 weeks, by the way, to be done, in addition to the typical build time. On top of that, you also get a few of the lime green accents. So this stripe that you have along the side skirt, you have the pinstripe around the wheel, and a few details on the inside as well. The additional touches have actually been added by GerCollector to make this car unique, but most notably satin black, and that is because of using satin PPF over the top, which gives it this immensely menacing look. Of course, very similar to the graphite grey Magno colour that mine came originally from factory, still with all of the exposed carbon fibre here on the bonnet, for example, for the cooling areas around the front end. And this is set at the moment for maximum attack, with the front splitter extended, the race splitter with those supporting rods as well that hold it in place, and all of the lime green accents that come all around the car. And back here, as I mentioned, the wing has been pivoted forwards. You have 3 different positions for the upper level and also for the lower level, where you can change the angle of attack, which will of course impact top speed and acceleration, but gives you more downforce for driving on the track. Fundamentally though, the big differences about this particular car are what's been done underneath by Opus. Now, the other day up at the Nurburgring, I was with Opus and we checked out a DCAT GT Black Series, which was absurdly loud, spat fireballs, made all sorts of mad noises. This still has cats, 200 cell high flow sports cats. It has a slightly modified exhaust to enable a little bit more flow through it as well, and of course a tune to take the 4-litre flat plane crank V8 up from its standard 730 horsepower in this to 860 through the rear wheels, through the 7-speed auto gearbox, and it's an absolute monster. If we have a look inside to show you some of the details just in here quickly, you'll spot that pinstripe through the center of the seat, also the embroidery and the stitching are all now in the Petronas Green, as opposed to being in the grey or in the Magma Beam orange that you would normally have. In the center, exactly the same for the 9-stage drift control, traction control toggle you have right there. There's also a plaque sitting just beneath that says exclusively for AMG ONE team. A nice little detail about this car being made available, as I said, just for the members of the AMG ONE customer club, you could say, the lucky 275 customers. With a very quick look at the engine bay here, the beastly power plant that we have up front, with also the black plaque that you have on the top representing that it is one of the 6 Black Series models. I expect there'll be about 1,000, perhaps just a few more than that, of these produced in total, but obviously the absolute cap of just 275 of the P1 edition. It will be interesting to see how many are made in total. Optional, of course, they don't have to be with this livery. I would always be terrified of anything that could potentially happen to the hand-painted finish, but it is a monster. We need to get it started up again because we're going to be taking it out of the car lift to exit the GerCollector's garage to go and experience this out on the road. If you've spotted the single red star, that's a tribute to Niki Lauda, just like on the Formula 1 cars. But let's climb inside here then. Sounds good. How you doing, GerCollector?
I'm doing well, and you?
Very good, very good. So,
are you ready to do this?
Yes, let's get this out in the car lift and go for a run in the GT Black Series. We are heading out onto the Autobahn. You've done a few miles in this already.
Yeah, around 2,500 kilometers now.
Not bad, not bad. Wow, you hear so much more sound in this. The grumble as you just gently start moving.
You have only driven the GT Black Series stock up to now, right?
I've only driven the stock one. I heard the full DCAT car.
Okay.
But that's not the same.
Yeah, it's not the same, no. For me, this is the best option. It's not too loud and it's not too quiet.
Oh wow, the blow-off valves, that's cool.
Yeah, of course. Now we are only driving in comfort to warm it up a little bit.
Yeah. It sounds so much more how it looks. I think is the best way to describe it now.
It sometimes remembers me the sound to a McLaren.
Yeah.
And then you hear the V8, and then you hear a little bit the force, that it sounds a little bit like a 4-cylinder, so you have a mix of everything.
Yeah.
You can't really compare it to any other car. If we go now here.
Oh wow!
So we get the crackles.
Just a few. That's funny. I mean, the stock car makes a couple of crackles, but nothing like that. Racing line.
Yeah, just warming up the tires a little bit.
No, but I like that he's on the racing line.
Yeah.
And you go around the outside. Yeah, just slightly warming up the tyres with massive G-forces around the corner.
I think we are good to go. Ready to go?
Yeah, ready to go. Goodness me, 200 Ks, 230, 240, 250 kilometers an hour, 155 miles an hour.
And now we have traffic in front of us, a Porsche.
992 convertible traffic.
didn't test it yet, but I can imagine that are coming little flames.
Probably little flames. You get the full flames if you do the decat.
Yes, that's crazy.
Who doesn't like going through a little tunnel? That is hilarious. That is absolutely laughable. That's really quite amusing. Is it always loud, or do you have a switchable system?
No, you can easily close the valves, and then also in comfort it doesn't make the crackles anymore.
Yeah.
So it's like stock, you know.
Yeah.
Same like stock.
Back to being civilized and friendly.
Yeah, yeah.
I think it's safe to say that this is not the same car as the stock GT Black Series.
No, not at all. For me it's a complete different car with the exhaust now, with the power, and I mean the driving. For me it's one of the best cars. I mean, it is for me the best car after the Senna, but you can't compare this car in amount of price to the McLaren Senna.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if you compare this one to the GT2 RS, the GT Black Series gives you so much more confidence driving on the racetrack. It's because of all this downforce, aerodynamic, it just makes it way easier to drive the car fast.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Makes sense. And you had a couple of proper outings. I mean, you've done a few thousand kilometers. This car's been to the Nurburgring and...
Yes, exactly. For the tuning, and then I got from AMG, I got the stock Black Series for 2 days driving on the Nordschleife, and
amazing.
It was amazing. It was really amazing. You can take this corner a little bit faster now. Tires are good. And you're already starting to feel all this downforce.
Yep. I don't think the van in front has the same downforce.
No, I don't think so. And the gearbox is so quick.
Yeah.
And that's already 240, and you have to think about that I adjust the wing for the racetrack.
Yeah.
So it sits even more in a higher position for more downforce, and you're really starting to feel this if it's straight or like full attack.
Yeah, makes a big difference.
Nice tunnel is coming again, if you want.
I'm gonna lower my window slightly.
Yeah.
Probably a bad idea. It's ridiculous. This is ridiculously fast. Ridiculously fast. 210, 220, 230, 240, 250, 260. 270, 280, 290 kilometers an hour. Wow, about 180 or so miles an hour.
And for me, also one of the most impressive things are the brakes.
Yeah.
The braking. The braking performance is insane.
I think my conclusion from the experience with you today is that I'm probably going to need to copy this system.
It's the best option, honestly.
The problem is that mine is going to feel slow in comparison. And when I get it back from the respray before it's had any engine upgrades done.
Yeah, true.
Accelerating from 200, no problems. 260.
And you need to think about this big wing in the back.
Yeah.
Everything built for track only, usually.
Yeah.
And still it pulls so good.
The wing is the enemy to top speed.
Yeah, and I mean even the front wing.
Yeah, also the enemy.
Also a bit, you know.
when you're trying to drive quickly, you don't want things like the gurney flap here on the bonnet, and you don't want the extended splitter. You don't want a massive wing hanging off the back. In fact, a wing delete would be
yeah, it would be a different level. And don't forget, I mean, the car is quite heavy. It's almost 200 kilo more heavy than the GT2 RS.
Yeah.
But you don't feel it. You don't feel it at all.
Obviously, significantly different cars. Front mid-engine here, rear engine in the GT2 RS. Of revs. And then inside, of course, this is different with the Petronas Green and the AMG badge style here in the door cards, or Dynamica. It's still comfortable. I just like these seats a lot. The seats are great.
Seats are perfect.
Yeah. And then behind, obviously got the titanium cage, harnesses, and then that view through the upper wing, currently raised. Wowzers, well this has been quite the ride.
I hope you enjoyed it.
Just a little bit. It's probably an expensive ride because now I need to go and do some more upgrades. Oh well, it happens. We return then into the insane car lift, and I always love this process. It's a bit of theatre. It's a bit of drama as we drive in, and then the shuttle will go down behind us, and then it will be down into the garage in just a moment. Yeah, the gate is closing. And then a few seconds later, we start moving down. Door opens, and back in we go with the Raging Bulls and the black and red right in front of us. But we need to have a little bit of a sound check.
Yeah, you want to have some revs?
I think we've got to, and I'll just let myself get deafened for a moment. So I suppose
step out. And
let's have a little listen to this very quickly. And yes, prepare for this. It's cool with the blow-off valve noise and the crackles. That's really quite loud, as you can probably tell. So, turns out the GT Black Series can sound the part. It doesn't have to sound like mine. That's a little bit better. All that's left for us now then is to park the car back alongside the Sterling Boss, the SLR Sterling Boss, always one of the world's coolest cars. The precursor to the Elva, the Monza, and the V12 Speedster. Well, the GT Black Series is parked back up, but what a run out. A huge thanks to GerCollector, and what an epic place to be, having been about a year since I last visited this awesome garage. In fact, let's have a very quick 30-second run around of all of the cars that we have here. The Mercedes SLR McLaren Sterling Moss, SLR 722, BMW M3 CRT, BMW Z8, the Isetta, the Fiat 500 Abarth 500, M4 GTS, M3 GTS, 675 LT Coupe, Lamborghini Aventador SV Roadster, the other SV Roadster, C63 AMG Black Series, 675 LT Spider, Ferrari F40, the two McLaren Ultimate Series cars, the P1, the Senna, Aventador SVJ Roadster, Huracan Super Trofeo, single-seat race car, the G-Wagon, the tractor down at the end, BMW 328 just over there by the lounge, Audi RS e-tron GT, the other BMW 328, some Golf buggies and bikes, the 991.2 GT2 RS, the GT3 RS 991.1, and of course the GT Black Series as well. And not just any GT Black Series, the P1 edition with all of the Opus upgrades as well. And I have to say, those stars look really good in person. Of course, I've only seen pictures up to this point, and this car with the additional details, the satin finish, all of the Petronas Green accents, the windscreen banner as well, and experiencing it today has been truly special, and as I said, probably going to inspire my upcoming decisions as well. For the time being, my car is currently being resprayed. It shouldn't be too much longer, at least a couple of weeks. Then of course the paint needs to settle, it will get paint protection film, and then at some point I will bring it over to Germany to come and visit its hometown, we could say, to a Fulterbach, to Stuttgart, to visit various places, to drive on the Autobahn, to go to the Nurburgring Nordschleife as well, and probably at some point to stop by Opus to have some upgrades. We will have to see exactly how that goes. Do of course also check out GerCollector's channel for more with all of the cars here in the collection. Awesome to see some of these out and about being driven as well, and some of which we've of course been out with together before, like the GT2 RS, the GT3 RS, and plenty more. And today, adding to that, the P1 Edition GT Black Series. Thank you very much again though to GerCollector. Thank you as always to you guys for your support. I hope you've enjoyed the video, but that is it for this time, and I'll see you again very soon. Cheers!